Let me ask you something that most people are too afraid to say out loud. How the hell are you broke in the richest country on Earth? You live in a nation that produces over $27 trillion in GDP. A country where billionaires multiply like bacteria, where luxury condos are built faster than hospitals, and where tech companies report profits higher than the GDP of entire nations. And yet, your bank account is screaming for help. You wake up, you work, you go home, and you still don't have enough. You scroll past financial advice online, watch gurus talk about saving $5 lattes, and somehow nothing changes. The truth is, you're not the problem. At least not entirely. Welcome. I'm Mr. R. And today, we're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're going to talk about why you're broke. Not in a poor country, not in a war zone, but in the economic superpower of the planet. You want to know the truth? America was never designed for everyone to win. Let's start with housing, the basic foundation of stability. In cities like San Francisco, the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment is over $3,000 per month. That's not luxury, that's survival. In New York, people work 2 jobs just to afford a closet with plumbing. Then there's healthcare. One visit to the ER without insurance, that's your savings gone. Medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy in the United States. Not gambling, not luxury spending, getting sick. But let me guess, you've been told you're broke because you don't budget, because you don't grind hard enough, because you bought a sandwich instead of cooking at home. Let me tell you, that's not just wrong, it's offensive. While you're being scolded for buying coffee, the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 90% combined. Let that sink in. A sliver of society has captured more financial power than nearly the entire population. And here's where it gets worse. You've been trained not to question it. You've been sold the American dream, but no one mentioned it came with a monthly subscription, crippling interest, and no refunds. So what's the play? Do you accept this? Do you scroll away? Or do you stay and learn how to fight back? If you're still here, good, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button. You won't find shallow advice here. We go deeper into the systems, the psychology, and the truth you were never meant to hear. Now let's keep going. Let's talk about wages. The federal minimum wage in the US is still $7.25 an hour. That number hasn't moved since 2009. Let me repeat that. While the cost of living has skyrocketed, while inflation has eaten through every dollar you save, the base wage hasn't moved an inch in over 15 years. You think your labor is underpaid? It is. Now let's go deeper. While you're working 40, maybe 50 hours a week just to stay afloat, major corporations are buying back billions in stock, increasing shareholder value instead of increasing worker pay. They tell you the market is free, but what they don't say is that it's only free if you already have capital. The average American household holds over $165,000 in debt. Student loans, auto loans, credit cards. Debt is the default operating system of the economy. You're not encouraged to build wealth. You're encouraged to owe, to spend, to stay busy and tired. That's not freedom. That's control. Let me be clear. Being broke in America is not a reflection of your intelligence, your work ethic, or your ambition. It's the product of a system designed to extract more than it gives, a system that's become masterful at disguising exploitation as opportunity. So what do? You wake up. You study the system not to obey it, but to use it. You don't blindly invest. You observe behavior. You look at where people's attention, time, and money flow, because money always follows attention. You start asking the right questions. Why are people buying things they can't afford? Why does financial literacy feel optional when it should be a requirement? Why does working harder often mean falling further behind? Because in the end, this is not just about money, it's about power. And the first step to taking it back is awareness. You're not just a consumer, you're not just a worker, you are a player in a game that few people even realize exists. And once you see the board for what it is, you stop playing by the rules that were never written for you. So here's what I want from you. Stay curious, stay critical, and stay here, because this channel is for people who want to understand how the world really works. Not the illusion, not the filtered version, the raw, brutal, liberating truth. This is Mr. R, and this was never about blaming you for being broke. It's about showing you that you were never supposed to win their game. So maybe it's time you learned to build your own. Subscribe, think, act. See you in the next one.